Have you ever been disrespected by someone, whether it's a rude comment, a disregard for your boundaries, or a blatant insult, and found yourself struggling to maintain your composure? The feelings of anger, frustration, or hurt can overwhelm you, leaving you questioning your self-worth and emotional stability. But what if you could handle disrespect with calmness, dignity, and poise? What if instead of reacting impulsively, you could turn these moments of provocation into opportunities for growth, reflection, and even creativity? In a world where disrespect seems all too common, whether in personal relationships, professional settings, or even in public interactions, it's essential to develop the emotional resilience to respond rather than react. This is where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism comes in. The Stoic philosophers such as Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca offer timeless strategies for mastering your emotional responses, particularly in the face of disrespect. Through their teachings, we can learn to detach from the emotional turmoil that often accompanies disrespect, allowing us to maintain our inner peace and strengthen our character. In this video, we will explore 15 Stoic lessons for handling disrespect, focusing on how you can transform negative experiences into personal growth, creativity, and resilience. These principles will help you navigate the stormy seas of disrespect without losing your emotional balance, ensuring that you remain steadfast and unshaken in your convictions. Ready to embrace the Stoic path to emotional mastery? Let's dive in. Core principles of Stoicism in handling disrespect. 1. Control over reactions. One of the foundational principles of Stoicism is that while we cannot control external events or the actions of others, we do have complete control over our own reaction. Disrespect, like any external provocation, only affects us if we allow it to influence our thoughts and emotions. This idea is beautifully captured in the words of Epictetus, who said, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." When someone disrespects us, it's not the disrespect itself that causes emotional harm, it's how we interpret and respond to it. If we choose to view it as a personal attack on our worth, we become emotionally entangled, allowing anger, frustration, or hurt to take hold. However, if we reframe disrespect as simply an external event, something that doesn't define who we are, we regain control over our emotional state. Imagine how empowering it would be to respond to disrespect with a calm, rational mindset, rather than an emotional outburst. By mastering your reaction, you can maintain your inner peace and avoid being pulled into unnecessary conflicts. This is where Stoicism provides invaluable guidance. 2. Perspective and emotional mastery in the face of disrespect. It's essential to maintain perspective. Instead of viewing the disrespect as a direct attack on your character, try to reframe the situation. Recognize that moments of disrespect are transient events. They come and go, but they don't define you. By adopting this mindset, you shift your focus from the external provocation to your internal response. Seneca, another prominent Stoic philosopher, once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." In other words, the emotional pain we experience from disrespect often stems more from our own thoughts and projections than from the actual event. When we view disrespect as external noise, something that has no lasting impact on our inner state, we can respond with clarity and composure. By mastering your emotions and maintaining a broad perspective, you create a mental buffer between the disrespect and your response. This allows you to engage with the situation in a thoughtful, measured way, rather than being swept up in the moment. Using disrespect for growth rather than seeing disrespect as a reason to become upset or defensive, the Stoic approach encourages us to use such experiences as opportunities for growth. Every challenge, including moments of disrespect, presents an opportunity for self-reflection and self-improvement. When you're disrespected, take a step back and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Is there a way I can use this experience to build my emotional resilience? Instead of being a victim of the situation, you can transform it into a stepping stone toward becoming a stronger, more self-aware individual. The key is to channel negative emotions like anger or frustration into positive actions, such as creativity, problem-solving, or self-improvement. You can use disrespect as fuel for personal growth, ensuring that you emerge stronger and more equipped to handle future challenges. 15 Stoic lessons for handling disrespect. 1. Decompose the moment when confronted with disrespect. It's easy to become overwhelmed by emotions. However, the Stoic approach encourages us to break down the moment into manageable parts. Instead of focusing on the entire experience, analyze the individual elements, such as the tone, words, or intent behind the disrespect. By deconstructing the situation, you can gain a clearer understanding and respond more rationally. This practice of rational analysis allows you to separate your emotional reaction from the event itself, reducing the likelihood of an impulsive, defensive response. By focusing on reason and context, you can maintain control over your thoughts and emotion. Embrace silence as a shield. Silence can be one of the most powerful tools in handling disrespect. Instead of reacting immediately, use silence as a strategic pause to reflect and regain composure. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the power of silence in maintaining emotional control. In moments of provocation, silence demonstrates self-restraint and prevents further escalation. By choosing not to respond impulsively, you create space for reflection and avoid getting caught up in the heat of the moment. Silence can also signal to the other person that you are not easily rattled, asserting your emotional independence. 3. Refine selective ignorance. Not all disrespect is worth engaging with. Some provocations are trivial or insignificant and don't merit a response. The Stoic principle of selective ignorance encourages us to ignore petty insults and focus only on what truly matters. By conserving your emotional energy for more meaningful pursuits, you preserve your peace of mind and avoid unnecessary conflict. This principle is especially important in a world where social media and online interactions often expose us to disrespectful comments or opinions. Instead of engaging with every provocation, practice selective ignorance and focus on what aligns with your values. 4. Cultivate your inner economy and stoicism. Your thoughts and emotions are viewed as valuable resources. Just as you would carefully manage your financial resources, it's important to treat your emotional energy with the same care and consideration. By being mindful of where you invest your emotional energy, you can prevent it from being wasted on trivial provocations or conflicts. This principle encourages you to prioritize your inner peace and emotional well-being, choosing to spend your energy on pursuits that align with your higher purpose and values. 5. Employ metaphorical armor. A powerful Stoic practice is to visualize yourself wearing protective armor, shielding your inner self from external negativity. This metaphorical armor acts as a barrier between you and disrespect, reinforcing the idea that external insults cannot penetrate your core peace. By visualizing yourself as impervious to negativity, you can cultivate emotional resilience and avoid being affected by the opinions or actions of others. 6. Reframe disrespect as external noise. When disrespected, it's helpful to reframe the situation as external noise, something that doesn't warrant emotional investment. Just as you would ignore background noise in a crowded room, you can choose to disengage from the negativity of disrespect. By viewing it as something fleeting and inconsequential, you prevent it from triggering an emotional response. 7. Invoke the Stoic whisper. One of the most effective Stoic strategies for maintaining calmness is to use a personal mantra, such as "this too shall pass." This Stoic whisper serves as a reminder that all things, both good and bad, are temporary. When faced with disrespect, repeat your mantra to ground yourself in the present moment and regain perspective. By invoking this Stoic whisper, you remind yourself that the moment of disrespect is just that, a moment. It doesn't define you, and it will eventually pass. 8. Harness the Stoic pause. The Stoic pause is a powerful tool for emotional regulation. Before responding to disrespect, take a deliberate pause to ensure that your reaction is rational and aligned with your values. This pause allows you to reflect on the situation and choose your response thoughtfully, preventing impulsive reactions that may escalate the situation. Adopt minimal engagement when dealing with disrespect. Sometimes the best response is minimal engagement. Limit interactions with those who consistently disrespect you, engaging only when necessary. This practice allows you to conserve your emotional energy and avoid unnecessary confrontation. By adopting minimal engagement, you maintain control over your emotional state and avoid being dragged into unnecessary drama or negativity. Practice the art of indifference. Indifference doesn't mean apathy. It means cultivating a sense of emotional detachment from things that don't genuinely matter to your well-being. By practicing indifference toward disrespectful comments or behaviors, you free yourself from the emotional turmoil that often accompanies them. Focus on what you can control, your thoughts and actions, rather than being affected by external events. Normalize imperfection in others. A key Stoic principle is the acceptance of human imperfection. Recognize that others are flawed and may act disrespectfully due to their own struggles, insecurities, or lack of self-awareness. By normalizing imperfection, you can prevent being caught off guard by others' behavior and reduce the emotional impact of their disrespect. 12. Incorporate mindful meditation. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation, help you observe and detach from emotional reactions. By practicing mindfulness regularly, you cultivate present moment awareness, which helps you maintain emotional balance in the face of disrespect. Meditation allows you to create a mental buffer between the external event and your emotional response, promoting calmness and clarity. 13. Create a Stoic response script. A Stoic response script involves preparing thoughtful, composed responses to common provocations. By anticipating potential moments of disrespect, you can ensure that your responses align with your values and maintain your dignity. Having a response script ready also reduces the likelihood of reacting impulsively or defensively. 14. Engage in Stoic reflections. Daily Stoic reflections provide an opportunity to assess and refine your responses to moments of disrespect. By reflecting on how you handled challenges, you can identify areas for growth and improvement. This practice encourages continuous self-awareness and personal development. 15. Channel disrespect into creative outlets. Instead of letting negative emotions fester, channel them into productive outlets, such as art, writing, or other forms of creative expression. Disrespect can serve as fuel for creativity, allowing you to transform adversity into something meaningful and productive. Key Stoic quotes for reflection. To conclude, here are some powerful Stoic quotes to keep in mind when faced with disrespect. Marcus Aurelius: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Epictetus: "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." Seneca: "Delay is the best remedy for anger." These timeless quotes serve as reminders that we have control over our responses, and that true strength lies in maintaining inner peace, regardless of external events. Practical takeaways. Master your response. Use silence, the Stoic pause, and response scripts to handle disrespect calmly. Preserve inner peace. Treat disrespect as noise or an opportunity for growth rather than a personal affront. Daily growth. Reflect on challenges and use creativity to transform adversity into meaningful contributions.